All right, welcome everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webcast on Control, Alt, Defeat. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. To those that are live and to those that might be on replay, we're happy that you're here to visit with us today. We got some fun stuff to talk about. I'm Geraldine Riley. I do sales and development marketing with Nick Gipson at Gipson Cybersecurity. And this is Nick Gipson.
Hi everyone. Nice to meet you. Like Geraldine said, I'm Nick Gipson. I am the CEO and founder of Gipson Cyber. I've been in the industry for a long time, and I'm just happy to share my knowledge and knowledge about security with you all today. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited.
So when Nick and I were talking about some ideas for these webcasts we'd like to do to educate and consult and share about our product and how we're a leader in what we do, the idea came up about Gipson Cyber being a heavy hitter. We are a heavyweight company. So our theme today is float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, like the Muhammad Ali of the world. And we are a heavyweight cybersecurity company for small businesses with 20 employees or under. And today we want to discuss why we're a heavy hitter, a heavyweight champion, versus maybe the lightweights that are out there. And so we have a little presentation. So Nick, why don't you take us away on it?
Sure. Yeah. So I've always been asked, how do I select the right security company, or how do I know that the security company I have is truly protecting me? And it's a hard question to answer or a hard question to answer for people that are technical, to relay that into non-technical terms. So we've kind of come up with this idea of lightweight versus heavyweight, like in boxing. There's a lightweight solution which focuses on device security and doesn't protect cloud services, may not even satisfy compliance standards. So that's those traditional antiviruses, if you will. And then our solution, which is a heavyweight solution, which provides holistic cybersecurity for all aspects of your business, from policies and employee training all the way up to actually securing those emails and devices and cloud services. And heavyweight type security solutions are used by enterprise level companies, the Fortune 500s of the world that are out there using these products to actually secure their data, not just a check the box security, but actual true security that is proactive in stopping threats on their network.
Yeah, because I think one of the things you and I've talked about is, a lot of companies have the idea that they need security, but they're not the technical end. And some IT companies are great. Everybody has them. But they might not always be aware of what small companies need as far as their security level. And a lightweight is a lot of what we have found companies are using for their security. And we offer a very heavyweight approach that hopefully we'll be able to explain a little bit through some of these slides.
Yes, definitely. So when we're going through the rest of these slides and kind of talking about these different aspects, just be thinking about when selecting your security company, these are the aspects that you should be looking for. Not just in the way of us being salesy, but actual compliance standards state that you need to have a certain level of security, and those tools that you use need to actually satisfy those compliance standards. Okay, so when we first talking about, we're talking about the problem is that antivirus versus endpoint protection. These two terms are kind of used ambiguous a lot within our industry, but they're actually two separate terms. An antivirus is those traditional services that you install on to your computer, or that are come onto your computer when you first get it from the factory, that merely prevent threats from happening. They look at your downloads and make sure that there's nothing downloaded onto your computer that could negatively affect your operations. Whereas endpoint protection goes much further beyond that. They want to prevent that download from ever even getting onto your device, let alone have it run and maybe even spread other files and malware throughout throughout the device, or throughout, or to other devices within the network or within your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone gets access to your cloud service email, like your Google Drive or your Gmail, your Outlook, or something along those lines, they have they can have just as much damage as if someone sent you a file to download. So you need to be protecting much more than just your computers. And that's where these antiviruses stop. They don't secure that. They don't do data storage protection. They don't protect for chat and messaging systems, and they don't secure or scan or monitor any documents within sort of a document portal like a Google Drive or Dropbox or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Those things nowadays have just as much chance of affecting your business operations as you getting a piece of malicious code onto your computer. So
Yep. And I think getting the malicious code is a big deal. It's so ambiguous. It's so stealth. We don't always
mhm,
know that we're clicking on a document. It could be, if you're a tax person or a bookkeeper, you're clicking on a W-2 because they're a customer. It looks like a customer, and you're putting it back onto your hard drive, which, by the way, we don't suggest. We suggest everything be up in a secure drive. But if you're downloading a W-2 or some paperwork, it looks like it's your customer and it's not being looked at for malicious software. And boom, you got something on your computer, and it could totally devastate your company.
yes, and to that point, that's a great point. And to that point, there are malicious software out there designed to look like an antivirus program, like a traditional antivirus program that will go on your machine and stop things. And it's kind of an irony in that point that the security tool that you think is free and looks great on the internet, and you download it, actually turns out to be the malware, the malicious software in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot often than a lot more than you think. And that's why having a reputable, heavyweight security product and a security company to run that product is pivotal for your business.
Mm-hmm. And,
So now
and
we're
some of the
go ahead.
lightweights, I just want to add, some of the lightweight opportunities that are there for security are very good for maybe a home base, something that you do from home.
Yes.
You don't have a lot of record keeping. Um, it's the small businesses is what we're focusing on. And you can Google any of the opportunities we're going to be talking about on what are the top 10 cybersecurity devices for small businesses. And you're going to find what we're going to be discussing today. And it looks like they're going to do everything you possibly could hope for. And we're going to just debunk some of that theory as a heavyweight company to protect what
Yes.
you all need. As a small business that has data, that has years behind your reputation, you have companies, you have clients that trust you. So that's what our point is in some of this antivirus versus endpoint protection.
Yes, and before we move on to that slide, I'll add to that a little bit more. That this isn't more of a sales pitch for us; it's more of a informational pitch to
Mm-hmm.
you, meaning that yeah, I truly care, and Geraldine and I truly care about the security of American small businesses. So even if you don't choose us, choose someone that is going to properly protect you.
Can we talk about that for a second too?
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
can
that's
stay on
fine.
the screen. But you and
Yeah.
I have talked about, we're both, this company is American born. You're a
Hmm.
vet. Our company is a vet owned company in the United States, and we love our country and we love to protect it. And part of not just what the local small businesses and the hacking is, it's as a national security protecting small businesses. And
Hmm.
so, our scope is not just the local small guy, it's what our country is being protected from, because the hackers might not necessarily live in your state. They might live in another country. So we're here to protect at a local level, at a state level, at a national level.
Yes, yes. And yes, exactly. We definitely care about our nation's security and see small businesses as part of that national security. 46% of the economy in the US is based on small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So if we let other countries and these attackers continually take from our small businesses, that affects the entire country as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So let's even more. Let's talk about more impact, more closer to home, like as in what happens if someone were to get a breach of client data, especially financial or tax data. There's a survey done by Elderman that says 71% of respondents from that survey would not go back to a business that has lost their data. So you are doing business with a client and you lose their data. 71% of your clients are now gone. I mean, I don't know about you, but I couldn't, as a business owner, it'd be hard to handle a 71% drop in my clientele.
Mm-hmm.
That would be tough. And then on top of that, you have the FTC coming at you with a $50,000 fine. So you get taxpayer and financial data stolen. You're looking at a $50,000 fine from the FTC.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that wasn't bad enough, because the federal government is always wanting to pile on more, you're going to get $1,000 fine for every compromised account from the IRS. So if you get taxpayer data stolen, on top of the $50,000 and all of the 71% loss of clientele, you're also going to get $1,000 per client that you have. So you have 300 clients. That's an extra $300,000 in fines. So that's the impact we're talking about here.
Yeah, and to this point that's on this slide, small businesses see themselves as small. They also sometimes see themselves as invisible to a hacker. So they might think, well, no one's going to want to steal my information. I don't have enough for them. Or the IRS isn't going to come after me. I'm not even a blip on their radar. And I understand the point that they come from in that. But what they don't know is that small businesses are most of the hacking going on. You don't see them on the news like the big box stores. But you do see them if you're in the industry. You get emails about different breaches that don't make the headlines. So if you are a small company thinking, well, no one's going to get me. Well, what if you did get hacked? If you lost 71% of your business, how would that impact you as a company? Your employees, would you have to let people go? Would you have to sell off some of your assets to create some investment to pay off some of these debts to the FTC and the IRS? And these are real situations, but people don't look at them that way because they think I'm invisible. No one wants what I have. And that is a fallacy.
It is. The data that you house in your business is just as important and valuable as the data housed at Bank of America, except on a smaller scale.
Yes.
And that's what the attackers know, and that's what the attackers are trying to exploit.
Yes.
Especially, after COVID, all these smaller businesses began to get pushed online and have remained online and have become now low-hanging fruit for attackers, easily accessed.
Yeah.
And easily exploited. And I mean, we have a few minutes. I mean, I've talked about this before, but the case where we were calling the IRS about an attack on a CPA, and the IRS said, "Okay, great, you have 300 clients that got stolen. We'll note that down, and we'll inform the IRS or inform the FBI, and have a good rest of your day." And that's all they did. It's because 300 clients in small businesses do not make a blip on the radar of help. Yet, if they get hacked, they'll make a blip on the radar of getting fined, which is a double-edged sword. The federal government and big businesses, big companies, tend not to focus on small businesses. Under 20 employees is not even a thing. They're considered like a local business to the federal government, and they just don't have enough time and resources in themselves to be able to hunt down every single attacker that's out there.
And to that point, if there was an incident, you're a small business, you find that you're being stolen, your data's being stolen. What do? Who do you talk to? Do you even have a response? Do you have a plan? Do you have someone to talk to? And a lot of these antivirus programs, you'll find that you buy for $100 a year. They're not interested in helping your incident response. They're only interested in getting your $100. And what makes us a heavyweight is that we walk through that incident response. This is what you need to do. Let's talk about the plan. And this is what we're going to do going forward. So as a heavyweight, you're not just getting something on the side. We totally walk with you as a business because of these incidents that can happen. And that's something that a lot of these lightweights don't do for you.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I doubt that you'll find you'll find someone that's willing to these big box stores, willing to spend the time and hunt down the email that might have the phishing email that came into your environment and has now dropped malware or downloads onto your computers.
Mhm.
That's just not going to happen.
Mhm.
But my team and I just did that this morning. That's what we do.
Mhm.
So that we don't just say, oh hey, yeah, we stopped a piece of malware coming onto your machine. We say, oh, we stopped a piece of malware and we found the email that it came from and deleted it from your server.
Mhm. Yep.
So let's talk more about features like that with our lightweight competitors. Now we won't say names just to keep everyone's a little bit of a little bit of what do they call it?
Anonymity.
Anonymity to the business.
And
And
also,
but
we're not here to discredit the lightweights, by the way,
yes,
because they do
hmm
offer protection at a very lightweight scale if you're home and you don't need more than that. So our
yeah. If
goal
you're a fan,
isn't to say that, we're great and they're not. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that this is what they're offering and this is what people are understanding, but this is what they actually offer and this is what we really cover. So,
yes, and and our other point is that these lightweight security solutions are meant for home use. So if you want to secure your family, these are great solutions that you can use. If you want to secure your business and your clients' data, these are not great solutions.
but
They
these plans we're going to show you are listed as business plans
mhm,
on the websites. They're
yes.
not listed as home sites, they're listed as business plans. So as we go through these, you'll see what they're offering is the same as what a home offering is.
Yes. So the first one up here we have looks like a great price of $4 per month, and of course that's per user for or per PC for one PC, and $10 or $5 a month for 10 devices. That's great. Really great for home use. You get a free 30-day trial. Perfect. But let's think about it as business owners. If they're offering a service to you for $4 a month, how much do you think it costs them to run that service? Pennies,
Mhm.
right? If they're operating at pennies, how much time and effort do you think they're actually going to put into your security? Not very much. So when you think about it, oh great, it's only $4 a month, but what are you really getting for that?
Mhm.
And we're gonna go into a list of features here in a minute, and kind of pick through them and see what they have and don't have. But with this slide, that's where I really wanted to point out is that yes, okay, for 60 69 $70 a year, you can cover 10 devices. But
Mhm.
that's just it. That's only those devices and nothing else. There's no incident response. There's no protection plans. There's nothing else but an antivirus on your computer, and that's it. And that's
Mhm.
what like we were talking about before. It's an antivirus, not endpoint protection.
Mhm.
So it's just going to stop those downloads.
Mhm.
Okay, our next comes from a separate competitor, but along the same lines, $59-$60 a year. But look at the features you hear: device security, secure browser, software updater, all password manager. All these things are device based. What don't you see on here? Email security, security for your cloud services like Google Drive, Dropbox, Office 365. You don't see any incident response. There's no uh, there's no uh, IT help desk that you could call really that will be able to help you with any sort of problem. They are really only there for technical support.
Mm-hmm. And
If
one of
they're,
the things,
sorry, go ahead.
one of the things you and I've talked about is their installation of what they do versus our installation of what we do, because their installation's at a surface level and ours goes deep. Do you want to talk
Yes.
about what that is?
Yeah. So that kind of goes with that cloud security. So yes, we also have device security. We will install the traditional, and we will install endpoint security, so a little bit more advanced than the traditional antivirus, onto your computers and your phones. But we also install that same advanced security onto cloud services like Office 365 and Google Workspace and Dropbox. So no matter what device you're on or where you're at in the world, when you access your email and your online files in your cloud services, they're going to be protected. You can access it from your grandmother's computer when you're out there, when you're there visiting for the holidays, and you're going to be the same amount of protected as you were if you're sitting at your own house in your own office.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we come at it. It's not just wherever you bring your device, it's wherever you operate your business.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be anywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we secure everything, no matter where you're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and that was
and also as a lightweight company, they're listing device security, secure browser. These are buzzwords that are they're not fear tactics, but they, to the non-technical person, sounds, oh, this is great, oh, that's great, this is great, and it
mm-hmm.
is good, it is good. But they're also using it. Some of them are redundant. They'll say it one way and then they'll say it another way, but it's the same type of process. And so be careful in the reading, that they're not duplicating the same effort and just disguising it as another list item, so that you think, oh, I'm
Yeah.
getting 40 things, when really they're only covering 5. So,
And that makes a really good point. Is this is another competitor of ours,
mm-hmm.
big competitor. And by the way, all of these are screenshots directly from their website, so we're not sending out anything proprietary. This is what they're telling everyone else, and this is a competitor of ours. The top picture is their home service offering, and the bottom picture is their business service offering.
What do you see?
Yeah, it's the same picture. Yeah,
It's the
it,
same. It's the same pricing.
yeah, same exact pricing.
It's the
Uh,
same exact screen, just on 2 different tabs. Is what it
yes,
is.
and you can verify that right on their website.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for a lot of different companies. They use one single product to cover for both home and business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, home and business have two different priorities. A home is just trying to secure your general browsing. They're trying to secure you going on Facebook and you accidentally clicking on one of the Facebook ads. A business solution needs to actually secure your business.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the IRS and FTC, just because you have an antivirus on your computer does not make you compliant with with their standards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fall under the IRS or the FTC, which pretty much everyone in the United States does, you get a breach and someone reports that breach to them, you're going to get a fine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose financial data, it's covered by the FTC. If you lose tax data, it's covered by the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not in the tax industry, if you lose a social security number, the IRS is coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to business, there can't be any sort of leeway in your security. It has to be the best security that you can get for your budget, and that's what we're trying to bring, is the
And
best
I think
security that we can
too,
offer.
in that light, 20 years ago, before we're at where we are today, because technology and hackers, by the way, are 5 steps ahead of a business owner. They are way ahead. We keep up with the 5 steps ahead of you as a business owner. But a lot of these companies 20 years ago only looked at IT and antivirus as like a little egg on the side. Oh, let me just put this on my computer. Well, we have gotten, our technology is so run through our internet, through our cloud services, everything is done online. Even, I mean, I did all my holiday shopping on Amazon. I mean, I didn't even go to the store. Everything is online. The problem is IT and cybersecurity is now an umbrella over an entire business. It's not a small egg on the side. So when we look at lightweight, that's only addressing a small portion when small businesses need an umbrella to cover them from the rainy days. And that's what we're here to do, is to cover the heavyweight so that you don't get rained on. And that's what makes us different. We are also one of the only companies in the world that offer heavyweight cybersecurity for under 20 employees or less. And we do offer it on a month-to-month basis. So what we do, you won't find on another competitor page, because we are very cutting edge and very forward thinking to support all these small businesses in the US. So
Yes, exactly. Like I said, I have in the beginning, I have been in the industry for a while, and I've worked for the Department of Defense and Fortune 100 clients. And these tools, techniques, and procedures that we use in Gipson Cyber are the exact same as I used when I was trying to defend against Russia and China and everything else from these large corporations and government entities.
mhm.
Just because you're a small business doesn't mean you have any less value than a big business, especially when it comes to data security.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said
Yeah.
before, that data has the same value if it sits in your business or if it sits in Bank of America.
Right.
So you need to have the same security and that same standard as the big businesses do, but normally can't. That's not affordable for small businesses. So we brought a solution to do that.
And by the way, too, if a small business were to try to go through, our company, one of the companies we use is called Harmony with Checkpoint, and their cost is so exorbitant because they deal with the large box stores. Small companies can't get this protection directly through Checkpoint. They need to go through us to get this. Fortunately, we offer pennies on the dollar for what we offer for the same security that the Department of Defense uses and these big companies. So, and that's also what makes us different. Not anybody can just get this product to give to the small businesses.
Yeah, and we're not paying any less or any more than what these big businesses are paying for this product. We're paying the exact same. But we're able to utilize our subscription model to bring that cost down to be able to service these smaller entities that normally couldn't charge. When I was working for the larger businesses, our minimum was like $30,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
or actually $30,000 a year, around $8,000 to $10,000 a month is what we were looking for in terms of charging our clients. That is way out of budget. It's untouchable, unfeasible for most small businesses to be able to pay that amount of money every month just for one service.
Yep.
So when we were coming with it, we were devising all these different ways to be able to bring this service down, and Checkpoint Harmony really, we're great partners with them. They're a great company. And they really work with us and see our value and see that what we're doing here. So,
and I think with Checkpoint, some of the small businesses that might be watching, Checkpoint does not advertise. So you're not going to get them in one of your feeds going through your, flipping through your, websites or doing Googles. You're not going to get the checkpoints. They don't advertise. So you might think, well, I don't know them. They don't have a trusted brand. They're not somebody I'm familiar with, which is totally understandable because we want to be working with companies that we trust and that are branded well. Checkpoint Harmony uses the type of solutions that, and like we said, the government uses, the Scotland Health and Safety uses it, the Denver Broncos use Checkpoint Harmony. Big heavy hitters use this particular company. That's why we are behind this company and we believe it. And we'll tell you what we use. On other IT and cybersecurity websites, they won't tell you what they're using. We're telling you what we're using. We're very transparent in this company with our pricing and with what our tools are, so that as an endpoint user what you're getting. Because I've asked companies that are IT companies, what are you using for your cybersecurity? And they have said, oh, we're using another company for cybersecurity. I'm like, okay, what products are they using? And they don't know. I'm like, well, how are you selling cybersecurity to your IT customers and you don't even know what product they're using? So that's what also makes us different. What we offer, we stand behind, and we are trusted because Nick and I have a passion for what we do. But Checkpoint Harmony is also a bigger trusted cybersecurity company, large or small companies. So
Yes, yeah, and it's a company heard about throughout the cybersecurity industry, but like you said, Geraldine, they don't advertise to small businesses or to the public. That's not what they're focused on.
mhm,
Um, because they have larger contracts with big companies. So, but
mhm,
we're a security company, and we've partnered with Checkpoint and have done the same hoops to jump through to get partnership with them, and they see what we're doing here and support us. So they really help us out. So in terms of Checkpoint Harmony, I'm going to go through like really the differences between this product versus the products we were just looking at before. First off, we have that enterprise grade protection for computers, phones, and emails. We've been kind of harping on that the whole time, and as well as the cloud services for the security monitoring for cloud services like Office 365, Google Workspace. That line right there is not touched by any
mhm,
of our other big box competitors. No one will secure Office 365 and Google Workspace for the prices that we're doing. That is usually earmarked for those larger enterprise customers because it's much more work to secure that to onboard and secure those type of devices.
mhm,
But us at Gipson Cyber, we don't care about that kind of work. We don't care about how much work it has to do. We care about you being secure. So we will do the work and get you to the point of being secure at no matter what cloud service you use.
mhm,
And also, um, we secure things like Slack and Google Chat and Microsoft Teams. So if you have your team, or if you like to use these sort of systems to talk with clients, and they upload a file or they send you a URL within that or a link within that, our systems are going to check and make sure that those things are secure for you as you're going through about your day.
mhm,
And lastly, on the Checkpoint Harmony side, one like we've talking about, 1 in 4 Fortune 500 companies use Checkpoint Harmony.
mhm,
So when we're talking about heavy hitters, that's about as heavy as you can get. Um, I mean, if 1 in 4, if 25% of Fortune 500 companies are using this product, I would suspect that it's probably pretty dang good,
mhm,
and that well, I don't suspect. I know it's probably pretty dang good, and using it for small businesses just makes sense. The data is the same. The security needs to be the same.
mhm. Yep.
So, and then so after we've talked about all the things that everyone else does and how we differ, and that we've shown their pricing, let's show we could show our pricing here. So we have our basic plan to our small business plan. As you can see, it's not $100 a year, but it's still affordable for small businesses and provides a much more holistic and secure approach to your data and your daily operations.
Yeah, so in our basic plan, that might be for maybe a one person shop, maybe a realtor, was working, and they might get their software or their email from like their umbrella company that they work with, but they buy
Mhm.
their own laptops, they have their own devices, they have their own cell phones. So our basic plan covers your endpoints, and we also include with our service a password management called LastPass. So your passwords are under lockdown. So even if they were to get an incident onto your system, the hacker can't get into your password. So therefore, they can't get into any of your data if everything is under a password protection. And it's also incident response led. So,
Yeah,
and
and that's one thing too is about our password manager is that we use an enterprise grade password manager. It's not something that you can get free off the street. This is a paid for password manager that not only allows you to only have to remember one master password to access your secured vault, and will automatically input your passwords into your login fields within your browser. But it also will check your username and passwords against the list of breaches that are known out there, and will alert us, me and my security team, to the fact that they are shown in data breaches. So we will know that if your username and password is out there in a data breach, and we will inform you, hey, you need to change this. Otherwise, it could be a vulnerability. So that's what comes with our password management. It's not just sitting there in a vault. We actually can manage it and monitor your security and your password security via our systems, which is pretty cool.
And then we have our Pro plan, which is our basic plan. But in addition to what that is, it also then includes a business hour IT opportunity. So if you had questions, or you didn't understand something, we are available to have that chat. We also will follow through with any incidents at a human level. We'll call you, we'll go through, we'll check where that phishing might have come from, and actually have that conversation. In addition, if you have, this plan covers 6 devices and 5 emails. So, if you have like 3 people and they have 2 devices, each, and then you might have an extra email or 2, like info@johndoe.com, or contact us at info@johndoe.com. And if you have more than that, then it is an additional $29 a month per device or email. And that might be for maybe a smaller size lawyer firm, or what accountants, CPAs.
CPAs, bookkeepers generally have between 2 and 3 people, which is what the Pro plan is focused on, and that's our most popular plan, because honestly, that's our small business. That's what we're focused on, as our small businesses is single owner and operators that have a small staff.
And then we have our small business plan, and that includes the Pro plan, and it also includes the cloud storage manageability. So we help to manage the cloud storage that secures your Slack and Microsoft Teams, and it's then 24/7 support for any questions you might have or any problems. You could always give us a call. And again, it's another $29 depending on if you go over the 8 devices and 6 emails. And I'll just share, I just talked with a company down in South Florida. They had 10 employees and they had 10 devices. And after I did the pricing, actually, it was the same price for the Pro plan and the small business plan. So it doesn't mean that the Pro plan is going to be your best bet, even if it's cheaper. It might be better for the same cost to get the better plan also. And and like we said, this is enterprise grade security.
Yes, and the difference between the Pro plan and the small business plan is twofold. One, managed cloud data storage. So we're going to be securing and putting security on your Google Drives and your SharePoints and your Dropboxes, and then also that Slack and Teams and chat messaging security as well. So we're adding more cloud services to the security to secure in the cloud we add more cloud services to secure under the small business plan than we do in the Pro plan. But like Geraldine said, depending on the size of the business, we could, as things escalate up, it could be more cost efficient and more secure to get the small business plan over the Pro plan.
And I think at this stage of this discussion, this is possibly sticker shock for the small companies that use the top 10 best practices for cybersecurity for small businesses that we just went through. $100 a year or $70 a year for 10 devices might sound great on paper. And then you're looking at our screen thinking, oh my gosh, that's so much money. I could get a whole year for what 1 month is. But would you rather prepare or repair? And I'm going to go with the prepare. So you're preparing your company to not have a breach. Can you afford a $300,000 fine from the IRS? Can you afford to have your reputation damaged? And that might sound like, well, that's not going to happen to me. And again, we go back to prepare versus repair, because you can't get back all those years of business and your reputation and the money and the employees that you had that you might have to let go. that you've taken blood and sweat. Small businesses are made with blood and sweat, time, care. So our pricing is going to be a sticker shock. So we're going to acknowledge that up front. But you're preparing to keep your business alive and thriving. And we want you to thrive digitally. That's our logo, thrive digitally. So
yes. There was something I was going to say about to that as well. Yes, your reputation and the time it takes to grow that business is there, and it's yes, the analogy that I like to say is I can get to work driving a motorcycle or driving a car, but on my way to work, if I get into an accident, if someone careens into the side of me, my chances of surviving that event in a car versus a motorcycle are dramatically increased. I am much more likely to survive a head-on collision or a side swipe collision from in a car than I am on a motorcycle, and that's what we're talking about here. The motorcycles are those big box antivirus stuff. They're great. They're shiny. They're fast. They can do all this cool stuff. But at the end of the day, when that truck slams into the side of you, into the side of your business because of a cyber attack, are you going to be more protected in a motorcycle or in a nice car that may be more expensive? So
and yesterday I was talking to a digital marketing company. They offer their package a month for what they do at $1,000 a month, and that is the going rate for digital marketing for small companies. So companies are very comfortable putting $1,000 a month away for their budget to get business. But do they put budget in to protect what they've already established? And so that's what makes us different, is that we want you to make it a budget point, that this is important to your business. We live in the real world. Real world is hacking. You see it all day with the big box stores.
Yes.
So all we ask is that, you consider what you're getting and that you would consider us, even if you don't want to go with Gipson Cyber, we're here to educate and share what we do and with our passion of what we do. But marketing for $1,000, can you afford to put some money into your company every month to protect it?
Yes, exactly. And like we've said, and this is the last kind of note that we'll end the show on is, the marketing is great. You can get more business and all that other thing, but if you are losing more clients than you're retaining, or if you're considered flagrant with someone's data, that's going to be a hit on your business. So it almost is, it's more of a business add-in. It's a business multiplier to have security. Like you can even say to you, there are our clients are happily say to their customers, we have an incident response plan and a cybersecurity team that is actively monitoring all of our operations to make sure that your data is protected. Our clients can say that. I don't know how many other clients with big box plans can actually say that.
Right.
So, well, thank you very much for everyone for watching, and for those that are watching on the recording. I greatly appreciate your attendance, and I wish you well in a safe rest of the week. Talk to y'all later.
Yeah, everybody, thank you so much. Share this on your platforms if you would. We'd love to answer any questions. By the way, you can contact me or Nick at gipsoncyber.com or myself, Geraldine, at gipsoncyber.com. And please share the goodness, and thank you again.
Thanks, everyone.